I mentioned that I came up with the concept for this film last year, and then we had an early draft of the script last year, and we were hoping to film it last summer, but we really didn't have the equipment back then. So we decided that we have a script that we're capable of making a good script, so we'll just let it sit for a little bit and have it evolved as we try to raise the money for it.
We're definitely very do-it-yourself, very we don't buy our equipment set. Like we've been building some of our equipment. We're working on Steadicam right now. We built some monitor adapters. All this stuff exists out there. I mean, it's sold on the market, but it's also very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And unless you have financial backing, sponsors, all that, there's no way your average guerrilla filmmaker can afford any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So the only option left is to make it yourself.
And the I know you guys had a whole a Steadicam setup kind of thrown together there.
That was a Steadicam version 1, I suppose, and it's failed now. And we like what I said about when we were reviewing the footage, we found that one, the image was out of focus completely, but the other problem was that there was a lot of inherent shakiness within the.
It wasn't quite steady.
Yeah, it wasn't steady. It had this unnatural shaking, not from operating. It's just we built the Steadicam out of. It's a monopod setup. We took parts of a tripod, a plastic tripod, a $10 tripod, and then took out all the legs, and then we put a weight on it for a counterweight to distribute the weight pretty much. But it's just the setup was so heavy, and the plastic rig, I guess, made the image so it was unbearable. The new version of the Steadicam is inspired by a rig that cinematographer Christopher Doyle used in some of his productions. It looks kind of goofy, but it works. We strapped a huge pillow to the front of our chest, and basically he can rest his elbows on it to help support the camera. And we built these hand grips in front of the rod system. These hand grips that we built out of we took apart Dennis's bike and we just used the handles from those. Those cost they're up to $500 just for a couple of handles. We could just build these ourselves, and then they work great. We're in the process of building a shoulder mount for the back.
I know that the original shoot, the few days you guys spent at the convention center shooting at the anime convention here in Boston, I know that those are going to go down in the record books for you guys as being productive failures in a way that they needed to take place in order for you to get where you are now. But at the end of the day, you didn't really come up with anything that you could really use for the most part, aside from, I'm sure, some B-roll there that you got. But what was the experience shooting there at the convention center like? You mentioned Dennis as your cinematographer, I take it, and what was the experience like, and what were some of the snags you ran into, and what kinds of things did you take from that experience?
We learned a lot that day. I mean, we went home and we went over the footage, and then we noticed that a lot of it went out of focus, rendering it completely useless. And then we needed that scene too, so we're trying to figure out. We're gonna visit a couple more conventions, but the reason why it went out of focus, I mean, we're using the little tiny LCD on board the camera, but the thing is, the camera shoots in such high resolution compared to the LCD, which is 400 lines by 200, that we needed an external monitor to monitor focus basically. And then but HD monitors, professional ones, go for up to $1,000. We're searching of different ways, and then we're like, why don't we just use a portable DVD player? And we're searching for forums and stuff to see if it's been done before. We couldn't get a straight answer. People were saying no, the resolution's still a little off, and it doesn't fix the flip, and then we would still have trouble framing. But then we decided to just go ahead and buy one just to test it out for $60 used. It's this it's a hot pink portable DVD player. We look yeah, definitely. But it turned out to be a godsend for everyone out there looking for an external monitor to use with an HD camera and an adapter. The Sony FX820 is amazing. It has all the lines of resolution that you could have, and the thing about it is the screen actually swivels, and folds down. And if you just flip it upside down, it fixes both left and right invert and up and down. So it's a $60 solution to a $1,000 product.
I know.
Yeah, and hooks right on.
One of my favorite parts about walking in the Heinz Convention Center was probably John being in the Astro Boy costume with his tights and like him complaining every second about how tight it was.
No,
and
that costume was a hit,
oh
though.
my
Yeah,
god! People ran up in the middle of our scenes and were like, "Hey, can we get a picture with you?" And we were like, it was perfect. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted for the movie.
He was supposed to be a star at the convention.
Yeah. So it was fantastic. It was
Yeah, one important thing to mention is that you have to, when making a film, you really have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who know and have the same goals as you do. I mean, that was the main problem with our lead actress. We wanted her so bad that we were just willing to work around her schedule, and you really can't if everyone's catering to one person's needs, then your film's not going to work.
Is there some sort of a website we could check up on for the production and to see how things are going?
Yeah, definitely. We have a website, www.aluckymovie.com. We try to update every day. All of us, actually. We have a director's journal, a producer's journal, a cinematographer's journal for all the tech guys out there, and
soon to be actors journal.
Actors journal, where they can just
talk about their experiences.
Yeah, and their creative processes and whatnot.
Yeah. Definitely, when I signed up for this, I was definitely excited. And when I finally read the script, I just want to say that this is a story just about everybody has that friend who kind of is just a little bit antisocial, and if you don't quite understand him, then if you see this movie, you'll get a sense of understanding and maybe you'll look at that person differently, and you'll become more connected with them, and I think it's a story that should be told and that needs to be told that hasn't been told yet, actually. So I hope that.
And personally, I think that the story itself actually it contains a very strong commentary about our generation. But since it's not quite done yet, I'm not going to say that statement just because I don't want to sound like an asshat.
when it turns out to not be. All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming along. Thanks again, and we hope to hear from you soon.
No, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that'll do it for this installment. Be sure to check out aluckymovie.com to catch up with everyone's production journals and to track their progress. In the future, we hope to take the podcast to the set of Tokyo Syndrome and to experience the shoot on a first-hand basis. For now, shoot us some questions, comments, or anything else that comes to mind. You can reach us on Twitter or Facebook, and links to both of these can be found at newburyfilmseries.org.